Hey everybody, we're almost 6 weeks into the new year and we're back to see whether 2022 is picking up where 2021 left off with low inventory and rising prices. So Eric, what's going on out there?
Well, the answer to those two questions is yes. Low inventory continues to be the story, and rising prices seem to be going hand in hand with that. And if we take a look here at new listings, for instance, looking at January of 2021 to January of 2022, new listings are down 19.7%.
Ouch.
Yep. And if we go over here to this graph, so this graph shows us where we were inventory-wise. This is detached homes. This is attached homes.
Last 3 years.
Last 3 years. So if we look at 2020, January, we started 2020 with 33, almost 3,400 units on the market. We started 2021 with not even 2,000 units on the market. And we started 2022 with barely even 1,000 detached homes on the market. And you can kind of see here that inventory's been low for a long time. But if you go back to some of these years, 2015, 2016, it was up near 11, 12,000 units. And then right here in 2019, it just fell off a cliff and continued to go down and continues to go down.
Especially detached homes, that's quite a drop there in late summer, early fall. For
sure. And so, this is pre-pandemic. And then when we get into 2020, this is, the pandemic decline. And then we had a little help here towards the end of 21. And now we're just sliding again. So that's a huge story.
And you can see, how low the inventory is now compared to how it's been. It's just abysmal, I guess, is the word for.
It's really at a crisis level in terms of people wanting to buy homes versus homes to buy. It's terrible. And it really makes it hard for buyers. At the same time that the inventory has been declining, prices are up. As you can see, median sale price from January of 2021 to January of 2022, a 20% jump in median sales price.
Classic supply and demand there.
Absolutely. So if you look at median sales price on this graph, we have, again, 3 years, 20, 21, 22 for January, both attached and detached. We started 2020 at a $665 median price, and then
for detached homes.
For detached homes, we jumped up to $741, and now here we are in January of 2022, or looking at January of 2022, we're at $885,000. It's crazy, and then again you can see the steady increase here on this graph going all the way back to 2012.
Well, buyers are in a hurry to get something locked in right now because of interest rates, and we've got this Freddie Mac chart here from today.
Right.
You want to talk about interest rates?
Yes, interest rates definitely, are creeping up, and the average right now around the country is 3.69, which is still a phenomenal rate. So it's still, a great time to buy from that perspective. Because you have to remember that when you're buying a home, you're locking in your housing payment for 30 years, meaning, you close escrow with a payment, that's going to be your payment for 30 years. And that's going to hedge against rent increases and inflation and all kinds of other stuff. So it's super advantageous to buy right now. And that's why so many people are trying to buy. And that's why prices are going up. And then, of course, those who say, well, rates are coming up. Well, yes, but if you look at this 3-year graph here, you can see that, back in 2019, the average rate was 4.41%. So here we are today at, an average of 3.69. Still good. It's still a great time.
What did we pay for our first mortgage? I think it was like 2002. It was about 14%, I want to say.
Yeah, that was on our second. I think our first was around 8%.
Oh, okay, 8%, still a lot more than what people are paying these days.
Right around that time frame, 2003, 2004, there was a significant drop, and I remember refinancing from 8 to 5. 5%. And that
We were
was
excited about 5%.
very excited. So, as a buyer, I would not lament 3.69%. That's still a phenomenal interest rate to lock in for 30 years.
So what do you do if you want to buy now and you're coming up against this inventory shortage? How do you find a house?
Work with a great agent like us and be patient. Don't blame your agent for the fact that your offers aren't getting accepted. I mean, it really is a story of tenacity right now. You just have to be tenacious.
And there are other things to do. You need to have somebody who knows how to write a good, solid offer, how to talk to people.
Right.
You have to have relationships built in the business, and that helps us often to get our buyers' offers accepted.
Right, and that goes back to working with agents like us. You really need an experienced agent right now if you're going to get an offer accepted. So, with that, again, prices are going up, and so on the seller side,
So yeah, if you're thinking about selling, would you wait and see what happens, or would you go ahead and put your house on the market?
The old saying goes, there's no time like the present. And
what's the saying about making hay?
Make hay while the sun is shining.
Yes, that one.
And sooner or later, this median price number is just going to be too attractive. And I'm talking to a lot of people right now who are saying, you know what, I don't really need to sell, but darn, prices are phenomenal, so maybe it's time. So I do think more inventory is coming. At the same time, there's a ton of buyers in the market, so these prices are probably going to hold. But as soon as people start getting on this bandwagon, there are only so many buyers because of rising rates and lots of other factors. There's only so many buyers out there. So once, inventory gets absorbed, it's going to soften up the pricing. So right now, as a seller, you have the opportunity to almost write your own ticket and get your price, whereas that might not be true later in the year.
And the Fed is talking about starting to raise rates in March, and a few other rate hikes this year. So when that starts happening, that's going to knock some buyers out, or they're not going to be able to qualify or qualify for less.
Absolutely. As it is right now, there already have been some buyers exit the market just with a small rate increase, because as soon as rates start increasing, it changes debt to income ratios. And so any time rates increase, you're going to eliminate some buyers. Okay.
Was that all for today?
Yeah, that's about it for the January market update. If you're a seller, like we say, no time like the present. And if you're a buyer, it's a phenomenal time to buy rate-wise, and I really don't see prices getting, crashing in the next 12 months at least.
There are really no upcoming catalysts for that we can see at this point.
Right. So, get in while you can, be tenacious, and if you're a seller, no time like the present.
Well, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about your moving plans, send us a message or give us a call.